Today's S-OneLP Spotlight features custom design applications. For over 30 years, Custom Design Applications has been providing converters around the globe HP Indigo modifications aimed at helping them improve efficiency and increase output. I had the pleasure of speaking to Tim Burke today. Let's take a look at our conversation. Hi, Tim. It's really nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me on S-OneLP Spotlight today. How are you?
Doing good, Sharon. Great to see you again as well.
You too. Thank you. Tim, can you tell us a little bit about your products and services that you offer through S-One Labels and Packaging?
Absolutely. So, variety of custom applications that we've done over the years, inline, offline, on both the narrow as well as the wide format setups.
How do your Indigo modifications and standalone offerings take printing to finishing in one step?
So a good example, I think, is we did this offline and we are doing it inline on a 25K, where customers doing shrink applications, for example, he prints on the Indigo, and in the inline process, he puts a UV curable slip coating on the back, and we've added a duplex or two spindle rewind with shear slitting at the end, and he can slit right in line with the HP Indigo and take that straight to the seamer. In our offline application, same concept. With the offline, it was a two-color application with cold foil and a few other embellishment capabilities. So, yeah, that's probably our best example of just basically printing and going straight to the seamer from there.
That is really helpful to our customer base, as time is money, right? And digital
Exactly.
is all about fast lead times, quick turnaround.
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit about the backside web viewer that you offer for shrink sleeves?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of our early units that we did. HP does this on their 20,000 and their 25K with their web over rewind unit, but on the smaller systems, we developed a similar application where in mirror image type printed clear films, it's real hard for the operator to see the printed product as it goes across the HP rewinder to the rewind roll itself. So by giving us that over and back application or web path, the operator can see firsthand that everything is working the way it's supposed to. Registers great. Job change, for example, when the HP changes from one print to another. It's very similar in that sense, and low cost and simple to add on. Really is. We've done a number of them with S1 over the years.
It's an amazing product. Shrink sleeves have gotten so popular over the past few years, and having the capability to catch errors right away is really beneficial. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
You also built an e-beam coating line for us that we call the Cat Pack. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, two different versions. Obviously, it's 30-inch wide system. Our first version is just a top coater, we'll call it, and that is registered as well as a flood coating application. So if you're doing a spot coating, unwind, it's work hand in hand with the PCT e-beam and integration e-beam unit. We work directly with PCT and do all the systems integration ourselves. So they bring that product to us. We put it together either on our floor or at the customer's floor and seamlessly integrate the whole web transportation system in that. Our second unit, larger unit, is with their Omnia system, and that is a more powerful system from PCT e-beam and integration, and it's allows the customer to do laminations as well. So very different in that sense. The key part for us is the coater is the same, but we're just adding modules to allow for lamination or flood coating, things like that.
Yes, and you've done a fantastic job on the design of that. It's got great tensioning. The switch over from coatings is extremely fast from a gloss to a matte. So that's been amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
You also provide a variety of slitting systems. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so recent customer was doing an inline coater and shrink sleeve again, not that to be just on shrink sleeves because we do a lot of other packaging as well, but wanted to do inline shear slitting uh, after it's coated. So we designed and worked with a shear slitting manufacturer. We designed their unit into our rewinder, do a duplex or two spindle type rewind. And as I said earlier, they can finish right in line, slit to size, take it straight to the seamer. More recent unit that we designed is on the end of a 6800, and that customer was it's a crush cut slitting in that sense, but we can do razor, we can do shear, and we can, in his case, we saved them another step. So they were printing on the HP, they had to take it to an offline asset of some sort, slit it, and then take it over to their finishing department. So again, we cut out at least a step. Sometimes we cut out two steps in doing the different slittings, but yeah, crush, slit, uh, razor, shear slitting. Just depends on what kind of material it is and what the customer's need is. It's kind of what we try and focus on.
And is there a maximum on how many slitting arms you can add or what the minimum width is that they can slit to?
In some cases, so what we've generally found is we offer on all of these, we've kind of offered about 4 to 5 lanes. That assumes edge trim and then 5 lanes of product coming off the rewinder in that sense. You can add more. The minimum in shear slitting is generally, if you're trying to wind an offcut, that's of course where it gets tricky. You want to be about an inch on each edge so you can wind that. If you're going to vacuum that trim away, then you can get that out to much less, of course, a 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch on each side. But generally, we try and do that 3 to 5 range or 3 to 5 lanes.
You've done a phenomenal job partnering with us to help our customers save time, money, and manpower. Is there any specific success stories that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I mean, again, it was one of those cases a number of years ago that customer wrote us a great letter stating how well our system works. One case was out in Las Vegas where they're doing backside web viewing, but he was putting down such a heavy coat weight of the white HP ink. I wouldn't call it offsetting, but he was getting some picking or things of that nature. So by putting in the backside web viewer, the operator could see is anything going on the print. And we also added a dryer system to the end of this so that in addition to the HP inks drying as fast as they do, we just added a little bit of extra drying, and he came back and wrote us just a beautiful letter that I can get a copy of for you. But long story short, he said it saved them so much time and product actually by having that right at the end of the 6800 rewind attached to the machine. One of the other applications was a inline laminator that we put at the end of the 6800, and that customer said it's just been phenomenal in the sense of labor that they saved. So they needed to. This was kind of unique that we did with S-One, where customer was doing see-through bottles, and they wanted to see print inside the label as well as outside the label. So in that sense, customer printed on the HP in his normal operation, took it over to another asset. He had to laminate a white film to the back. Then he brought it back to the HP and re-registered the face to the back, things of that nature. So we took on that challenge and put a laminator at the end of the machine so that he could laminate right there in line, and didn't finish in one step, but he was able to basically take it right off the 6800, rewind, put it back on the HP, print his top side, and he was done. He saved a ton of time by not having to wait for time on the other machine, et cetera, et cetera. It's just much faster. And again, he says, yeah, it clicked every box. He said it just worked out really well. So
That's fantastic. Was that a thermal lamination application or adhesive backed overlam?
adhesive backed overlam in that case, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So we produced or provided not only the unwind but a driven rewind to wind that liner off there as well.
that's amazing. Are there any new industry trends that you're seeing out in the marketplace today?
Yeah, a couple, yeah. I mean, it's things that others have seen as well. I mean, with embellishments, especially with e-beam. Um, S1 and you and I focus a lot on listening to the customer's needs and where their packaging needs are. And, it's short run, of course, as we know, and the customer, or their customer, I should say, they want that pop off the shelf attraction to the package. So inkjet has been a big one. I know S1 works closely with Jet Effects for those kind of features as well as ourselves, and um, laminations, windows where you're just trying to do a window through a clear package so that the product can be seen inside that pouch. That's a big one. Then, of course, the cold foil, and doing e-beam cold foil. And it's those are big. Cannabis is big. I wouldn't say it's a open palette, but the designers these days, they come up with pretty good ideas, and it's up to us custom people sometimes to, with our challenges, to make all that work. So yeah, I mean that's probably the biggest that I've seen, has probably been the inkjet side of things and doing a number of different type of embellishments.
Well, I know you've done an amazing job for us and our customers. I have never had one unhappy customer. So kudos to you and your team. We really
Thank you.
appreciate you. Thank you for joining us today on the S-OneLP Spotlight, and we'll see you next time.
Happy to do so. Thanks for having us. I appreciate it.
Thank you.